Good evening, I'm David Kramer at the National Weather Service with Alaska statewide weather. Starting off for the remainder of the day, I do want to mention that we have several warnings and advisories out for the state, a lot of which are along the west coast, including coastal flood warnings, high wind warnings, coastal flood advisories, and high surf advisories. Many of those are out into Friday, with some of them even extending into Saturday. We also have some high wind advisories in and around the Alaska Range and dense fog advisories for much of the Panhandle. For exact details on any of these, please check our website, weather.gov/Alaska. For the state, we have a front moving through the west coast, bringing in those stronger winds and coastal flooding concerns to much of the northern west coast, also bringing in some rain to areas along the west coast and the western interior. Rain showers out over the south central area, and then high pressure out over the Panhandle. For tonight, that high pressure out over the Panhandle is going to help fog to form for many of the areas throughout southeast Alaska. We'll still have lingering rain showers throughout the northern Gulf waters for tonight, and then a mixture of rain and snow for many of the areas of the interior extending up into the Brooks Range and northwest coastline. A lot of the low-lying areas in the interior will still see rain, and that rain is going to extend down into southwest Alaska. Meanwhile, we'll have another system moving in from the northern Pacific into the western Aleutian Islands, bringing rain to those areas. On Friday, that system will move out over the central Aleutian Islands, bringing rain to the area, as well as rain throughout much of the Bering Sea, including the Pribilof Islands. Out over mainland Alaska, we have a system coming up into the Gulf of Alaska, bringing some rain to the northern portions of the Gulf and North Gulf Coast. We still have some lingering fog in the morning hours on Friday out over the Panhandle, and then rain through much of southwest Alaska, extending up to the central interior, with rain and snow for the Alaska Range. Rain and snow will also be in the Brooks Range, with some rain along the west coast of the state, with some areas mixing with snow. On Saturday, our system that was out over the Aleutian Islands will have moved out over the southwestern portion of the state, spreading rain widespread throughout the Alaska Peninsula, Kodiak Island, south central Alaska, and much of the interior and west coast as well. Higher elevations will have a chance to see some snow, as well as some snow being expected up by the Brooks Range. Down in southeast Alaska, we'll have rain pushing in from a weak low out over the eastern portions of the Gulf of Alaska, and that rain is going to extend throughout all of the Panhandle. And finally, another system is coming in towards the western Aleutian Islands, bringing rain to the islands. With Alaska statewide weather, I'm David Kramer.